All right, let's take a deep dive into ES6's default parameters. So right here, if I write this, this means, hey, num2, the second argument, will be the value of 5 if the user either omits the second argument or they pass in undefined. Okay. Anything else, it will not use the default value and it will use whatever you passed in. So on the right, if I call adder and pass in 4, we get 9, okay, because 4 plus 5. Now, I said it only works with undefined or you omit it. So even if you put no, it's not going to work. Okay, it's going to do 4 plus no, which is still 4. Okay, and also it's not going to work either if you have something like nan. Okay, so this is awesome, but there are some caveats. Now, let's compare this to ES5. How do we do defaults in ES5? ES5, we had to do like num2 is either equal to itself or the value 5. Now, ES5 is different because the OR operator is only checking for falsy values. ES6 is only checking for undefined or if you left out the whole argument. So let's try again. If we do adder 4 and don't pass in anything, it uses the 5. 4 plus 5 is 9. If we pass in no, we still get 9 because no is falsy, right? Same with false. Okay. But this is worse because if you pass in 0, right, you still get 9 because 0 is falsy, but we don't want that, right? So you have to decide which one's better. Okay, let's put back in ES6. Now, instead of just being a value, this could actually, instead of being a string, it could be any value. So let's say it can even be destructuring. num2 is, and you can even do it in line right here. So equal to an array 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. And then if you call it with one argument, you get 6 because num2 is now this one. What if you want num2 to be the 4? Well, you can do 1, 2, 3, right? And then if we call adder, we get the 5 we pass in plus the last value right here, 4, which is 9. Okay. It can also be something like console.log. And remember, since this is in the same line, you still have access to the num1 argument variable. Let's say, hey, add something to num1. Okay. Oops, why is it? Let me go back. Okay. I forgot that you have to do num2. You need the assignment. Okay, so now if you do adder 5, it says, hey, add something to num5. Cool. You can also have an immediately invoked function. So let's do something cool. Immediately invoked function needs to be wrapped and it needs to be called later down the line. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, in here, I'm going to say function. Right, and then what is this function going to do? Well, let's do document.body. Let me move this over. Inner HTML plus equals, let's call this added num1 to nothing. And then let's do a line break so we can do multiple of these. Okay, so now if we just call with 5, you see that our HTML just got text pasted. If we do 6, see, and it's skipping each line because of the break. Okay, so yes, for the default parameters, 99% of the time, you're not going to use something like this. I just wanted to show you that it is possible. It can be any value, a function definition, a function call, destructuring, an object, things like that. Okay. All right, I hope that was useful. And remember, just because something is new in ES6 doesn't mean you should always use it instead of ES5. Okay. Remember, the OR operator checks for all falsy values. Default parameters only check for undefined or if the user omits the argument itself.